Meantime, on ESPN2, a playoff doubleheader there. Flyers and Maple Leafs, Game 2, 7:30 Eastern. Philly leading that series 1-0. Then it's the Sharks and the Avs, the opener of that series. It opens in San Jose after the postponements due to the tragic shootings in Colorado.
NHL Report is brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NHL.
So far, Sammy's only been so-so. The Cubs, not even that good. Sosa reversing his fortunes. Could Chicago do the same? Universe in sports.
Of a Bud Light.
Aren't you forgetting something?
Oh, my wallet.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Oops, I'll get it.
Compare the Republican candidates for county executive. Larry Dunn cut property taxes 20% and froze property assessments his first day as chairman. Jim Roddy raised rates 71% as chairman of the Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority. Larry Dunn led the fight against the stadium tax and Plan B because he doesn't believe taxpayers should build stadiums for team owners. Jim Roddy was in favor of the stadium tax and is a strong supporter of Plan B. The choice is clear. Elect Larry Dunn.
I got one. I got one.
I'm Frank Swick, used car manager at Wexford Dodge, Pittsburgh's #1 volume Dodge dealer. That's important to you used car buyers because volume new means volume used. When you see our great selection, prices, and warranties, you'll say, I got one. If you live in Allegheny, Beaver, or Butler counties, stop by your used car headquarters and Pittsburgh's #1 volume Dodge dealer.
Wexford Dodge.
Tonight on ESPN, the Stanley Cup playoff battle continues, followed by Baseball Tonight and Sports Center. On ESPN2, a Stanley Cup playoff doubleheader. And on ESPN Classic, Behind the Fights with Jimmy Breslin and College Basketball Classics. Do you have all the ESPN networks?
42 seconds to go. Broncos at the Cleveland 5. 3rd down and a yard.
Come on, guys. Come on. Stick it to him, baby. Stick it to him.
The snap to Elway. The look. The throw. Touchdown to Mark Jackson. 98.5-yard drive.
It will forever be remembered simply as the drive. January of '87, Elway taking Denver virtually the length of the field for the game-tying touchdown in the AFC title game. They went on to top the Browns in OT. That one of 47 fourth-quarter comebacks in Elway's career, first all-time. In case you missed it or in case you just have a really short memory, Elway will officially retire on Monday.
And back to baseball, Mets and Cubs. Yeah, those fans looking for a home run ball from Sammy. And in the 6th inning, Sammy Sosa, I don't know exactly where they were standing, but he puts one out and into the crowd. Number 4 of the year for Sammy Sosa. Cubs up 2-0 on those Mets. Top of the 8th, tying runs on for Ray Ordonez, and the Mets shortstop putting this one the other way into the sun. Sammy Sosa looking in and brings it in. Keeping the Cubs up on top, preserving the lead in the shutout. Top of the 9th, meantime, Rod Beck on for the save. John Olerud puts this one into left field. Curtis Goodwin is there, and he snatches it up. Shutout at Wrigley. Hard luck loss for Mets starter Alan Watson, the only current major leaguer out of New York Tech. Terry Mulholland giving up 7 hits and 5 walks, but throwing shutout baseball into the 7th. Cub pitcher John Lieber, though, scheduled to start on Sunday, struck in the eye by an errant thrown ball during BP today. He had to be taken to the hospital. His status unclear at this time. Astros and Reds. It's Mike Hampton, bottom of the 3rd, no score, facing Barry Larkin. 2 men on. Larkin 2 for his last 29 going into this at bat. That's going to help him. Hampton knew it. Larkin knew it. 4th home run of the year for Larkin. 3-zip Reds. Top of the 8th, 3-1 Reds. Ken Caminiti on, 2 on. Caminiti, base hit. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. That's Biggio and Bell. Caminiti, 1,500 career hits. He's halfway there. Of course, he turned 36 this week. Bottom of the 9th, 2 on, 2 out, full count. Billy Wagner, he struck him out. 98 miles an hour, 5th save of the season for Wagner. 4-3 Stros. Hard luck guy here, Steve Avery, gives up 1 unearned run over 7 innings, no decision. Reds reliever Stan Belinda will get a start for AAA Indianapolis.
Look at the leaderboard. There is Jesper, a 3-stroke lead, 21 under par. Sandy Lyle holds the record score for the Greater Greensboro Classic, 17 under par. It was back in 1988 when the tourney was held at Forest Oaks. Parnevic's best finish this season, a tie for 14th. At the Spanish Open, Sweden's Jarmo Sandelin is third straight 66. He has a 3-stroke lead heading into tomorrow's final round. 19-year-old Spanish phenom Sergio Garcia, who's making his professional debut, 12 strokes off the lead.
More baseball for you. Rockies and Giants. That's Armando Rios. Not in the starting line. I'm trying to stay mentally occupied. Rich Aurelia, meantime, had to leave the game. Tightness in his right groin, listed day-to-day. His replacement, Ramon Martinez, with the Giants trailing 4-3. Martinez coming through. Second home run of the year. Game tied at 4. Rios, meantime, he's just bored. Who's taller? Marvin Bedard in there. They're going to find out. Well, meantime, Rios gets the call. Comes in. Base hit. Brett Maine going over to third. Giants already up by 3. Rios getting it done. Next man up is Bernard. This time, who's the bigger man? Bernard? Base hit back up the middle. Maine scores. Bernard 2 for 5, 2 RBI in the game. Giants up on top 8-4, and then they're going to settle this once and for all. Giants win at any rate. 8-4 the final. Charlie Hayes 2 for 4 with a triple and 2 RBI. First game back after suspension. Sean Estes picked up the win to improve to 20-9 lifetime at what is now known as 3Com Park. Coming up on SportsCenter, can Big Mo turn it around for the Angels? He homered in his first at bat off the DL. See if he can keep that up today, right after this.
There's only 3 things that you got to remember when you're shining the cup. It's this: wax on, wax off, wax on. That was a trick question. You don't leave the wax on. There'd be a buildup.
What stands between you and your goal? Will you give in to it? Or fight through it? Will you fear it? Or embrace it? Will you hold back? Or hold nothing back? When you need something extra, when it counts the most, will it be there? Gatorade, is it in you?
I'm an engineer,
An architect.
a CEO who needed,
Wanted. Had to have.
notebook computers.
Preloaded with a powerful, easy-to-use, reliable business operating system. So I called Dell. Dell pre-installed Windows NT Workstation on custom-built Latitude notebooks.
Dell pioneered this direct way of providing solutions.
Which is good.
It's genius.
Be direct. Dell. Dell notebooks use Intel Pentium 2 processors.
Nobody in this house ever gets diarrhea.
Is my stomach okay?
Or nausea.
I was sick to my stomach.
Or even indigestion.
Oh, my stomach.
But for all those stomach problems, I'm ready with Pepto-Bismol. It's a whole first aid kit for stomachs.
As it coats, Pepto relieves most any stomach problem. Not just a few like these other leading medicines. Pepto-Bismol.
Whether it's their stomachs, or stomachs.
It's first aid for heartburn, diarrhea, nausea, indigestion, and upset
stomachs.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
Years from now, when people look back on John Elway's career, what would you like them to think?
He played hard and was a competitor and never quit. And when you played John Elway, he didn't always play great, but you always got everything he had in the end. Tried to win every football game that I was in. And the most important thing to John Elway was winning.
The NFL list for all-time passing yardage, only Dan Marino higher than Elway. Warren Moon, Dan Fouts never got to play in a Super Bowl. Elway's record was very much like Fran Tarkenton's until the last 2 years. A solid running game in Denver changes his NFL legacy quite a bit.
Angels and Royals continuing a 3-game series. Top of the 4th, runner on first. Tim Salmon says, be seeing you. A 2-run homer, his 5th of the year, and Anaheim's up 2-zip. A mere 2 innings later, tied at 2. It is Salmon again, and it's deja vu all over again. We'll do the math for you. His 6th of the season. Angels up 3-2. 14th multi-homer game of Salmon's career. Bottom 8 now tied at 3. Bases loaded, and there, your visual proof. Mike Sweeney. Grounder to Andy Sheets. Steps on second for 1. Oh, boy. The relay in the dirt, so they're unable to get out of the inning. Run scores, and that was the game winner. KC takes it 4-3. Jose Santiago pitched an inning and a third of scoreless relief as he picked up his first career win. Salmon 9 for 12 with 4 homers and 14 RBI in afternoon games this year. The White Sox win their 6th straight, 3-1 over the Tigers. Jamie Navarro picking up his first win since July 15th. 3 errors for the Tigers, who came in leading the AL in fielding. This is their first multi-error game of the year. M's and Devil Rays underway in St. Pete. There is no score in this one in the top of the 4th. Devil Rays come in riding a 6-game winning streak, the longest in the franchise's long and storied history. Seattle has lost 7 of its last 9. Actually, Ken Griffey Jr. has just hit a home run, so we'll give you some immediacy. It's a solo shot, so it's now 1-0 in favor of the M's.
In the LPGA, the Chick-fil-A Charity Championship 5-way tie for the lead. Maria Hjorth of Sweden looking for her first career win. Final round coverage Sunday, 2:30 Eastern on ESPN2. On the Senior Tour, the Home Depot Invitational. It's a 3-way tie for first right now. Bruce Fleischer is there. He has 2 wins this year as a rookie on the Senior Tour. Final round coverage Sunday, 5:30 Eastern. You can see that right here on ESPN.
Can the Hurricanes salvage a win before the series heads to Boston? Keith Primo and company will be without team leader Ron Francis. We'll take you to Greensboro in a few. The Flyers.
As the Bees blank the Canes. Tonight, a frustrated and injured Carolina club is desperate for a win. This is the Greensboro Coliseum, Greensboro, North Carolina. We are set for Game 2 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinal series. The Boston Bruins leading the Carolina Hurricanes 1-0. Welcome to the Stanley Cup playoffs here on ESPN. I'm Steve Levy. In Game 1 of this series, it was the first game for Carolina in the playoffs. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman was in the house, and this place rocked. So they have the atmosphere. Now the Canes need a win.
Very desperate. Obviously, going down 2-0 going to Boston, it's not a good sign. So for us tonight, very important for us to score early. I know, if they score early, obviously we're not going to throw in the towel, but it's very important for us to get up. It's going to be a very tight series.
Joined up by my partner, Darren Pang. Carolina dominated Boston the first 10 minutes. Tonight they try to keep it up for 60 minutes. Can they do it?
That's very difficult to do. I think a lot of teams that play against them, and the Boston Bruins are one, if they can weather the storm the first 10, 12 minutes and get the kind of saves they got from Byron Dafoe, it is awfully difficult to keep up the kind of pace Carolina had going. That may have been the most physical game so far of the playoffs, especially the opening 15 minutes.
Now, Ron Francis will not play tonight. The ankle injury will keep him out of the game. However, Paul Coffey will play for Carolina. That'll add to their offense. For Boston in the last game, Jason Allison had an assist, Raymond Bourque an assist, but they weren't the goal scorers.
That's the great thing about playoffs. We spend so much time talking about the superstars in the league, but sometimes, and in a lot of cases, it is the role players. Little Rob DeMaio had a terrific game, scored a goal, and when you think Rob DeMaio, in the regular season, when you combine these two role players, Rob DeMaio and Ken Belanger, who are the lone goal scorers in game number 1, they combined for just 8 regular season goals. But yet these guys were the guys that lit the lamp in game number 1. I thought Belanger was terrific too. In the physical presence, he really led them in that direction.
Up next, we'll head back to our National Hockey Night studios, get thoughts from John Saunders and Barry Melrose, and then we will be set to go from Greensboro. Byron Dafoe led all NHL goaltenders with 10 shutouts in the regular season. Well, he's at it again here in the postseason.
Today, Labatt announced the expansion of Labatt Blue to the U.S. market. Oh?
I love Canada. It's my home. But come on, it's an entire country north of Buffalo. This coat is not that warm, eh? Oh, that's lovely.
If
If I can get the best part of Canada and live in the States, you tell me, huh?
Checkmate.
Labatt Blue, pure Canada.
Did not see that coming.
He's unstoppable.
We sent a couple of guys after him, and these were both good agents.
They were both men.
She's irresistible.
Has there ever been anyone you couldn't seduce?
No.
The only thing more dangerous than their plan.
You change partners. You change rules.
Is being partners.
You're playing both sides.
Sean Connery, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Ving Rhames. Entrapment. Rated PG-13. The Trap is set Friday.
Pads for legs, $1,500. Glove for hand, $400. Mask for face, $150. Having a slinky for a spine, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Official card of the NHL and fan of those who dominate the game.
If you could accompany your data on this trip overseas, the experience would be alarming. Local carriers handing it to national carriers, over to cable carriers, until you don't know who has your data. Unless you send it through here, with the one and only company that owns the entire network, local, national, and international. So you know who has your data. OnNet from MCI WorldCom.
You know, these days, lots of deodorants are talking antibacterial protection. It's not about that at all. It's about whose deodorant lasts longer. High endurance. Old Spice guarantees it. If you want odor protection that really lasts, High Endurance exceeds the need.
The Bruins and the Hurricanes coming up. John Saunders and Barry Melrose. What a game we saw this afternoon. Let's get you up to date. That one went to overtime between Phoenix and St. Louis. Dallas Drake sends it out. Shane Doan gets the goal here. But Barry, Phoenix looks so good in the overtime.
This was the most physical game of the playoffs so far. These two teams hated each other. It was war out there. Kachuk was great. Tocchet was great. Don't forget Roenick's out, so everyone else had to compensate. Doan gets the winning goal. Habibulin made key saves when he needed to, John. But St. Louis was great again. McGinnis got another goal and 2 assists on the 3 goals for St. Louis, so he continues to do his job.
Yeah, he's been in on every St. Louis goal. And New Jersey loses to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh without Yager.
Pittsburgh, again, just the Devils didn't show up. They thought they had one without working.
It's coming up next.
I just got a message from my doctor's office. There's a procedure that they've recommended I have, and they're saying you won't cover it. What state am I calling from? Pennsylvania. Where are you? Yeah, hold. Or am I talking to Denver? Yes. Yes, I hope you can. It's 8423788. A week ago, my doctor recommended a procedure, and I just figured, why would he, recommend it if it's not? Why isn't it covered? I don't understand. Well, I made the appointment, but right. Why would he recommend it if it's not approved? Oh, I'm sorry, but I think my doctor knows what's best for me, don't you? I mean, well, are you a doctor?
It's time for healthcare decisions to be made by doctors. So choose your healthcare and your health insurance as if your life depended on it. UPMC Health Plan.
I'll hold.
Mark McGwire, 178 homers, and that's just the last 3 years. Watch the best power hitter in the game try to lift the Cards to the next level. Cardinals-Dodgers, the Sunday night game of the week, tomorrow at 8 on ESPN.
Unparalleled intensity. Sudden death. One win keeps you in. 16 wins takes it all.
That's as crazy as it gets.
Get Cup Crazy on Fox Sports and ESPN. Check local listings for the games and times in your area.
ESPN's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by Old Spice High Endurance Deodorant and Antiperspirant. Powerful protection for men. By the new Dodge, the official vehicles of the NHL. And by Miller Lite, the great taste of a true Pilsner beer.
Just about set. This play place is wild.
Oh, man.
Talk about your atmosphere, and we will. Two referees, as always, throughout the playoffs. Our two tonight, Kerry Frazier and Denny LaRue. Our linesman, Scott Driscoll and Brian Murphy. And we are underway from Greensboro. Raymond Borky hammered Gill on the blue line, and right off the bat, 8 seconds into the game, 2 big hits. One initiated by Carolina, one initiated by Boston. The Bruins in their road black uniforms, the Hurricanes in their home whites. Steve Chason and Curtis Decision on the blue line for Carolina to open, and your defensemen are set. Here's Sergei Samsonov, and they are just offside at the Carolina blue line. And hitting is starting. They're picking up right where they left off from game one.
Right away with Gary Roberts on the ice, but Paul Maurice has established a tone from his hockey team, and that is go hard, go furious, and finish your checks. Game one, overwhelming in the early portions in favor of the Carolina Hurricanes, 88-62. Gary Roberts led all hitters with 17. Keith Primo had 10. And Martin Jelena, he was also right there with 12 hits. Roberts was real big. That was a big part of his game. He created a lot of havoc, a lot of scoring chances, as did Keith Primo in the first 30 seconds of the hockey game in game one. That was the difference. Defoe robbed Keith Primo, and then as it went along, you could tell Boston started gaining a lot of momentum in game one, and the Carolina Hurricanes slowed down somewhat.
There is some thought that here in North Carolina, they pump up those numbers just a bit, the hits numbers. Gary Roberts talked about that in the midpoint of the season. He mentioned how many more hits than that, and ever since that point, their hits have been well above the league average. Roberts among the top 5 in hits in the entire NHL. And they're offside again at the Carolina blue line. Goaltenders tonight. We'll get to that in a second, but first there's Rob DeMaio, one of the big hitters.
Yeah, was he ever. And he also had 5 shots on goal in game one with that goal, so he led all Boston Bruins players with that. The Boston Bruins had 29 shots against Arthur Zerbe. We're talking a lot about how good Byron Defoe was in net. But as the game went on, it was really the Boston Bruins that had the great amount of chance on Irbe.
Another face-off, won by Boston. Gill to Bork, and he'll fire in. Normally hits the net from there. But he was across the red line, so no icing. Andrei Kovalenko will shoot in, and Defoe will leave it there. Bates, Battaglia, and Van Impe go to the corner. Battaglia comes away with a loose puck. Here's Bates, back behind the net. Continues to battle Van Impe. Kovalenko and Elliott go to the glass. And it's wrapped around. Here's Battaglia, overskated. Samsonov will pick up for Boston. Samsonov out there with Allison and Kristich. Big offensive line for the Bees.
And they didn't do very much in game one. And that's good news for Boston. When you come away, that line didn't do much offensively, and they still win the hockey game.
Ryan Wesley trying to get it out ahead, able to get it to center. Robert Braun on the ice, his first shift, a healthy scratch in game one. He replaces Ron Francis in the Carolina tonight. There's Paul Coffey able to get rid of the puck. He was scratched in game one as well. They called it a hamstring injury, so he's making his playoff debut this season here tonight. Battleford back behind the net. Oh, good hand check thrown by Keith Primo. As it's Belanger back the other way. A little facial to Marek Malik of Carolina. Primo puts DeMaio down, and then DeMaio responded in kind. Malik, without the helmet, picks it up along the wall, and they look to come out. Jelena at center, shoots in a bit too far, couldn't hit Ray Shepard. And the Bees control. Pretty good start to this one. We've got that pace going. Here's Decision sometime. Kent Manderville, a 2-line pass they call it, and Gill and Manderville exchange a shove after the whistle.
Now Byron Defoe continues his hot streak. 11 shutouts now this year when you include his spectacular regular season. 19 saves in game number 1. And in his last 7 games, including the regular season, overwhelming numbers, 7-0-0. Look at the minuscule goals against average, just under 1, and an unbelievable save percentage. For Arthur Zerbe, there's a lot of pressure on the home goalie in postseason play, and especially if the early goal and the other goalie's taking it on over. His career playoff numbers are a little bit high. Don't forget, he played for San Jose. That was his last real playoff series when they upset the Detroit Red Wings in 93-94.
Shot was blocked. Ranheim gets to it. Looks to move it ahead. Hammered by Anson Carter, but Manderville will work it out. On with Kevin Denis. 2-on-2 as they hit the line. Nice play by Van Impe to play the body and get the puck. Hard check thrown there by Denis. Crowd roar. Shot from the angle. Kicked out by perfectly. Lecision took the puck, while Lecision took the man. Chason took the puck. Shot it off the glass. Joe Thornton, in his playoff debut this season, he did play for Boston in their 6 playoff games of the season ago, eliminated by Washington. Roberts trying to flip it out ahead. On the stick of Dineen. He's slowed up by Carter, and he'll shoot in. Dineen will go for a change. Look out, there's Gary Roberts, as he narrowly avoided the contact with Byron Dafoe. Here's Sean Bates now. Bates gets rid of the puck, and it was pressed by Nolan Pratt. Everybody finishing their check so far in the first 3.5 of this game.
Finish him off, and then they know the next time they've got the puck that they're not going to get away easy. You're just going to get rubbed out. What I like about it is the hits are clean, shoulder to shoulder, and that adds to the pace and excitement of the hockey game.
And then there's the wear and tear factor, depending upon how long this series goes. Obviously a pivotal game for Carolina tonight. Do not want to head back to the Fleet, down 2 games to 0. Contact. Robert Tkachuk comes away with the puck, finds Sammy Kapanen. He's got the good wheels, except he's trying to beat Don Sweeney. And Sweeney played him textbook. Jeff O'Neill, a hard hit on Kyle McLaren. Here's Battaglia, as the hitting is ferocious here in the first 5 minutes of play.
Sweeney got away with one, though. He used the palm of his hand right in the face of Sammy Kapanen as Kapanen was trying to keep it deep down the right side.
You might even be able to feel those hits at home. Step out.
You have to dig deep to find the source of Intrepid's solid feel. Reinforced door openings, strategically placed steel beams, and an isolated suspension cradle all contribute to Intrepid's supple ride. Take away that sturdy foundation and you have, well, nothing. Dodge Intrepid. We're changing everything. Again. Intrepid is one of Car and Driver's 10 best. Again.
I want to like Rebecca, I really do. But she thinks Miller Lite tastes great because it's smooth.
And Rick thinks it's because of the choice hops.
And even if we could get past that, we'd still argue over whose work sells the most sports magazines.
Okay, in-depth analysis of the nickel defense or fishnet bikinis. You decide.
Look, Rebecca, guys buy sports magazines for great sports writing.
Oh, great. So I guess we'll be seeing that Rick Riley sports writing calendar any day now.
Oh, man.
Miller Lite, the great taste of a true Pilsner beer.
Paul Maurice tonight without what is close to a player coach as you come into the NHL. No Ron Francis for him tonight.
And that is absolutely huge for the locker room stuff for on ice. And he was red hot the last 25 games. An inadvertent play behind the net by Steve Hines. And a close-up look shows you the pressure that's put on his right ankle and his right knee. He tried to skate today at 5 o'clock. This is a guy that's got a real strong threshold for pain. And with him not able to come back, you know this is a real serious injury for Ronnie Francis.
And they hope to have him back when the series shifts to Boston on Monday. That'll give him another 48 hours or so.
Tough to speculate, though, if it's even a sprained ankle. I mean, guys like Glenn Leslie was out for weeks and weeks with his injury.
Tim Taylor had an ankle injury for Boston. He missed 32 games with an ankle injury, so it is tough to tell. They're just onside at the Carolina blue line. Malik is back for he is crunched. Bourque trying to let it go. It was blocked by Jelena. Karam's in front. Primo up for Jelena. 5 minutes in, only one shot registered on goal, but plenty of shots have been taken. It's the players at each other. Here's Bourque. There is Tim Taylor right there with the puck. Headman pass for Belanger, trying to spin through, except he's spun around, and it's right back out to center by Primo.
That's good defense right there. Smother in the middle of the ice. Belanger taking a good heads-up pass, trying to go right through the gut.
Offside now at the Carolina blue line. Carolina didn't give Boston a shot for the first 9 minutes in game one. How about here tonight?
Yeah, first 10 minutes are keys to playing this team, especially in their building. You just can't give them so much life that they just roll over you. We have to play very solid, get the puck in, get the puck out, and, you know, nothing fancy. And the further we go along in the game, I think the better our chances are.
The old proverbial weathering the storm, and boy, in game one, it was so apparent on that very first shift, as you see, that they held Boston without a shot in the first 9 minutes of game one. I mean, that's an awful lot of time. And they were only in the game because of the brilliance of their goaltender, because first 40 seconds, Keith Primo busts in on the wide side, gets strong, good save by Defoe. The rebound went to Jelena, and Primo had his arms up, thinking they had scored the goal. That's how close it came.
O'Neill and Allison on the draw. O'Neill pushed it ahead and tries to make the offensive play. He's working on Dave Ellett. Here's Kapanen. He's got a lane behind the net, centering feed through everybody, and it'll carry him out to center. Nolan Pratt on it for Carolina. Right back the other way. Ellett tries to fire it out. Here's Pratt now on with Glenn Wesley. That is for 7 years with the Boston Bruins. Then, of course, Hartford to stay with the franchise on their move to Carolina. Pratt with the puck. In his playoff debut, this is his first series ever, played in Game 1 and now here in Game 2. It's Kyle McLaren for Boston. Picked off at center by Bates Battaglia. Had to wait for Kron to clear the zone. Decision, after everyone has been out, shoots in. First man in on it, Robert Kron. He's introduced to the glass by Don Sweeney. Battaglia running all over the ice to hit people. Here's Thornton back the other way. He's 1-on-2. Gets to the corner first and has the puck. Centering feed, and Battaglia's back to cover that. Good start. All 3 zones for Bates Battaglia here early on in this first period. Game 2, Eastern Conference quarterfinal series. The Bruins shut out the Hurricanes 2-0. Carolina only had 19 shots, but many of them forcing Byron Defoe to make spectacular saves. Jason is back for it. Thornton right on him. They go to the wall, leave the puck there for Hines and Manderville to fight it out amongst themselves, but Decision comes away. Backhands out inside the zone, looking for a hop. Here's Ranheim showing off his good speed. They couldn't get to the bouncing puck. Deneen in the corner. Here's Ranheim now. Manderville in a high slot. Couldn't get it to him. Finds Deneen for Manderville. Shot blocked, and it caroms out to center.
Well, Anson Carter did a good job staying back with Kevin Deneen. Deneen looked around. Where did that stick come from? It was Anson Carter.
Ford fired right back out.
Paul Coffey back in the lineup. This could really help the transition game of the Carolina Hurricanes. Their power play went 0 for 4 in game number 1.
Offside at that Boston blue line. 12:22 to go here in the first, and the Bruins have yet to register a shot on goal.
Edgar and I have so much in common. It's like we were long-lost brothers.
We both have larger-than-average ears.
We both have pretty straight hair.
It's creepy.
And get this. We both love the taste of Miller Lite because of the choice hops. It's like we were separated at birth.
Actually, George, I think Miller Lite tastes great because it's smooth.
Excuse me?
I like the smoothness.
Who are you?
Miller Lite, the great taste of a true Pilsner beer.
2 pair of snow boots, $110. 2 wool caps, $28. 2 pair of hockey skates, $215. Seeing your favorite place become his favorite place, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard, official card of the NHL.
Great hockey fans right here in the Greensboro area. Everybody's looking forward to next year in Raleigh. In game 1, these fans had a treat because the hitting was absolutely ferocious on both sides. Belanger had a real good hit there on Gary Roberts that led the charge for the Carolina Hurricanes. I mean, it kept coming and coming and coming. It didn't stop. Just didn't stop. So if you had the puck and you gained 8-10 feet of space with the puck, I mean, you knew you were going to get hammered. So the head was up, always looking for another option, and always bracing yourself to make sure you were in good balance to receive a hit.
You watch those highlights and you wonder, hey, you know what? Maybe those hit numbers were not inflated.
Yeah. Oh, you get. I mean, look at Pat Burns' squad. I mean, they had some hits as well. They had 62 hits in game number 1, led by Tim Taylor had 6 hits in that hockey game. And, you know, some of the Ropers, Landon Wilson, 5 hits in that game. Sergei Samsonov was credited with 6 hits in that game. Ken Belanger loves this kind of hockey. I mean, he loves it. I mean, this is a guy that's never played in the playoffs before. Here's what he says. The best part is the big hits, getting the big hits. I love it. That's hockey. It's what I want to do. Back to the Globe. Just yesterday.
And he's getting much more ice time.
Oh, you bet.
He had 14 shifts. He said he averaged about 7 per game in the regular season. Had, I believe, 14 in game number 1, so twice as much. Wesley back for the touch. Icing, they'll bring it back down into the Boston zone.
For Paul Maurice right now, one of the things that he's trying to stress to his team is not trying to beat the opposition, the Boston Bruins, at the blue line. when their defensemen are backing up like that, you've got two big guys, Hal Gill, you've got Kyle McLaren. Both their sticks are about 40 feet long anyway, and they back up very well. They want to get the puck in deep. They want to establish the forecheck. With the speed that they have and the consistency that they have in hitting the opposition, they feel maybe they can wear down, keep hitting Gill. Try to hit Ray Bourque if you can. And it looks like early on, Pat Burns is doing a good job of getting Ray Bourque away from some of the big hits. He does a lot of line changing like that, and Ray Bourque played 30 minutes in that last game, and he saw a lot of guys like Keith Primo.
You mentioned some of the big Bruins. One of the big Hurricanes has left the ice. Marek Malik, all 6'5", 210 pounds of him, has headed off to the dressing room. We can only hope it's an equipment issue. And as soon as we get word, we'll pass along. Off the face-off win by Primo. Coffey lets it go. Knocked down in front. Jelena couldn't handle, and it shot down the ice. And this again will go for icing as Nolan Pratt touches up.
Well, Coffey comes into the lineup now, and there was some question as to whether or not he was healthy in game number 1. They did report that there was a hamstring strain. There were many people around here that saw Paul Coffey, didn't talk to reporters before that hockey game, and there was a lot of thought that he was ready to play. He's a veteran player that wants to be a part of postseason play, and so maybe it wasn't a tweak of the hamstring. He was traded December 29th for the very speedy Nelson Emerson, who's now a member of the Ottawa Senators. Coffey's last playoff goal came in 1997 against the New York Rangers in the Eastern Conference Finals with Philadelphia. He'd like to get on the board if you can. Help out this team.
Face off to the right of Defoe. And Gill gets to it. Axelson at center for Boston. Lets it go. And Defoe will leave it there for Chason. Try the headman pass. Bit too far for Kovalenko. And it's worked back behind the net for Jason Allison now. Trying to work it out ahead. It's Battaglia with the locks rolling at center. It's also a giveaway. Kristich, the shot blocked by Decision. Another giveaway. Sloppy play here by Carolina. Here's Ellen coming late. Shot stopped by Urban. And the rebound to the Canes. And Decision will shoot it. Decision was trying to get off for a change and ran into a Kristich check. And we get a whistle. Penalty coming up. Kerry Fraser has our first call. Looks like Jason Allison will go, and the Hurricanes to the power play.
Big way. Big way to get the 11,000 fans here right into it. Something they couldn't do in game number 1, and now they have a chance with the power play. Allison certainly had an objection to that as he pleaded with Kerry Fraser, but in this 2-referee system, the trailer seems to get those calls all the time now, so they're following up the play and getting the call. The Boston Bruins in the regular season with 2 referees averaged 5.15 power plays per game, 3rd most in the National Hockey League. Now Paul Maurice has got this power play unit. He's got Chason, and he's got Sammy Kapanen still on the point. And here's the call. And the chance here. A real good chance off a turnover by Bates Battaglia and Dave Ellett. 9 minutes in to the hockey game, the same as game 1. The Boston Bruins get a scoring chance. That's a very good save by Archer Zerbe.
Allison for holding the stick at 8:56. And Carolina Hurricane power play problems are well documented. How about 11% in the regular season? They were dead last in the NHL. In game number 1, they were 0 for 4. Boston counters with, well, they tied for the best all-time penalty killing in the regular season. So this would appear to be a bad matchup for Carolina.
There's a look at Paul Coffey there, anxiously awaiting the call to get on that power play.
That is his specialty. He's done it for so many years. Raymond Bourque back on the penalty kill. Knocked down out of midair by Ray Shepard. Here's Jelena now. They look to set it up. Chason lets it fly through a screen. High off the glass, but it stays in the building. Bourque gets to it. And he will slap it down the middle of the ice.
It looked like he was going up the wall, didn't he?
Yeah.
He just turned the blade over and kind of pulled it right up the middle.
Urban tried to speed things up by forcing it back up the ice. Al Hill gets to it. Knocked down by Primo. Primo avoided a hit. How about those two guys getting in? Centering feed right through Jelena. Kapanen shoots it in deeper. Kapanen and Chason playing the points here. Centering feed for Chason, a bit too late. PJ Axelson able to clear for Boston.
A very good read there. Ray Shepard looked like he had the seam. The pass was a little too light. Easy interception.
Roberts for O'Neal. Shoots it. McLaren right there.
Nothing can top America's #1 sirloin steak.
Give me the Applebee's house sirloin. House sirloin.
House sirloin, please.
Except our new toppings.
Whoa, stop. You think you can top #1?
Yeah, with aged Parmesan and melted mozzarella.
Smothered.
Hot. Chopped fresh basil, garlic, and ripe tomatoes.
Ooh, fresh.
Or coated in cracked peppers and spices with a creamy peppercorn sauce.
Zesty. Spicy.
America's #1 sirloin steak. 3 new ways for a limited time.
Gotta try an Applebee's sirloin topper.
Right now, you belong at Applebee's.
I'm Frank Swick, used car manager at Wexford Dodge, Pittsburgh's #1 volume Dodge dealer. That's important to you used car buyers because volume new means volume used. When you see our great selection, prices, and warranties, you'll say, I got one. If you live in Allegheny, Beaver, or Butler counties, stop by your used car headquarters and Pittsburgh's #1 volume Dodge dealer.
Year. Your penalty killers are going to be your best players. In situations like this, Ray Bourque is certainly their best player, and he was terrific in this penalty killing situation. Hal Gill clearing it to the left, eludes this big hit, or an attempted hit, by Keith Primo. Primo eventually does get the puck, making a setup right in front of the net, and it was a missed opportunity. Oh, that's a cross-check. No matter what league you're playing in, that's a cross-check right there. The big extension of the arms from Ray Bourque, and he got all of that 6'5" fame from Keith Primo.
And with 2 referees, Ray gets the benefit of the doubt in his 20th season. Hey, you know what? I'd give him the benefit of the doubt, too. He deserves it. Centering feed for Ranheim. Weak shot. And because of that, Defoe was able to make the stop and smother it without a rebound. 8:43 to go here in the first. A scoreless first from Greensboro.
Nothing can top America's #1 sirloin steak.
Give me the Applebee's house sirloin. House sirloin.
House sirloin, please.
Except our new toppings.
Whoa, stop. You think you can top #1?
Yeah, with aged Parmesan and melted mozzarella.
Smothered.
Hot. Chopped fresh basil, garlic, and ripe tomatoes.
Ooh, fresh.
Or coated in cracked peppers and spices with a creamy peppercorn sauce.
Zesty. Spicy.
America's #1 sirloin steak. 3 new ways for a limited time.
Gotta try an Applebee's sirloin topper.
Right now, you belong at Applebee's.
And the new Dodge takes us to the Air Canada Centre in Toronto, where once again it's the Flyers on the board first. Keith Jones, nice move here. Great goal for the former Western Michigan Bronco, Stephen Derrick. What a surprise, John, pointing out Western Michigan.
A lot of good hockey players come from Western Michigan.
A lot of good broadcasters, too, huh?
Eat French fries and vinegar. Salt and vinegar, John. I can't wait to get back to that.
Carolina inside the zone. Couldn't get the shot. Now they do through heavy traffic that time. How did Defoe see it? And even if he didn't, he knocked it aside.
Oh, when you're on a roll, those kind of pucks just hit you. He goes through traffic, got down on the butterfly perfectly, and he took away the 5-hole through traffic.
Here's Ranheim now with speed. On Van Impe, tried to center. Good play by Darren Van Impe. He's been really strong down the stretch for Boston. Had some injury problems himself this season. But he's off to a good start here in this hockey game tonight. Wesley back for the touch. Icing the call. They'll bring it back down into the Boston end.
You know, one of the things that Byron Defoe does exceptionally well, I feel, is challenge the shooter, knowing when to come out and when to stay back in his crease. He's not a passive goaltender by any stretch of the imagination. He's a very aggressive goaltender. He comes out, he tries to look like he's giving you a little bit of a 5-hole, but he covers that awfully well. He had the 3rd best goals against average in the NHL. It was a breakthrough year, really, for Byron after a lot of years of hard work. That is a perfect play by the Carolina Hurricanes. Manderville going in front. It's just a little snapshot from the point. The kind of shot that there's no big windup, but the kind that gets through, and it gives goaltenders all kinds of trouble. It snuck in there, and that's a nice save.
Defoe, an all-star snub, and kind of for a quirky reason. Not that he didn't deserve to be on the all-star ballot, but he was born in England, Canadian citizenship as well, and they didn't know which team they put him on, which ballot, the World All-Stars or the North American All-Stars. And because of that reason, that's what he was told. He was snubbed. 3-on-2 and across the line. Hines shot is blocked by Chason, who went down the ice. Here's Carter now, trying to set up Allison for the one-time tip, and he couldn't get it on goal. Shepard now, up for Jelena. He'll shoot to the corner. Primo, first man in to get it. DeMaio rubs him out. Bork over to help out. Loose helmet is DeMaio's. And a penalty coming up. Kerry Frazier's got that one. Frazier, the far referee on this play. He was out at center to make the call. It appeared to happen back behind the net in front of Denny LaRue.
That happened real deep, yeah. I mean, Kerry Frazier just saw, look at it behind the net. A lot of traffic there. Rob DeMaio, who's gone head-to-head with Primo a lot, had his helmet knocked right out from over top of his lid, and they battle it out. Primo ends up going to the penalty box. Primo's the captain. He's trying to get a translation from the referee, Kerry Frazier, and he has the luxury of getting it, but I'm just down, and where's the trip? There's the trip right there. That's a trip. And that's a good call. He got the blade of his stick right around the ankle, and he hauled it over. And it seems kind of minuscule when you see all the hits and hits and hits, but when you see hits that are actually, you know, shoulder to shoulder, that's hockey. That's part of the game. Before that, there was a 3-on-2 break. Hines went to let her rip, and what a block by Steve Chason. And then shortly after that, there was a hit as well. And then a golden opportunity missed by Allison. He had a one-time opportunity there and just kind of fluttered on it.
This is Boston's first power play of the night. Primo for tripping at 12:27. And the Bees look to move it out ahead. Allison on with Carter and Thornton. McLaren and Bork go after 5 Boston Bruins on the power play. Roberts is out there with O'Neill. Pratt and Wesley, your 4 Hurricanes on the penalty kill. Here's Thornton. Back to the point for Bork. Fakes, holds, now the feed. Gets it back to Bork, who's probably going for McLaren. Ray shoots it. Tip, save, loose. Tip by Carter in front, who was decked. Irbe made the stop, and the Hurricane defense able to clear. How about that little sequence?
That's a good save, though, by Irbe, just to get enough on it, because what makes that difficult is Carter's high out. He's not right on the doorstep, so that shot genuinely changes directions in a big way. Irbe had to stretch out to the left side.
30 seconds into this Bruin power play, they had a much better chance than anyone Carolina could do in their entire 2-minute power play earlier. It's kept in again by Boston. Here's Allison trying to bank it off the back of the net. Off for Hines now. He's checked immediately by a pair of Hurricanes. Carolina moving all over. Rotating players. Lecision, good hit on Allison. Allison retaliates. There's a bad penalty in the offensive zone. And a delayed call against Allison, who will go for the second time in the game and negate 34 seconds of Boston power play opportunity.
He's got something to say to Kerry Frazier. Kerry Frazier wants nothing of that, but you're right. In the offensive zone, Steve, and you're on the power play, I mean, you've got to do your best. You've got to do your best to stay away from anything, because if anything, there might be an embellishment. You never know, but bottom line is he used his stick once, and then he used it twice. So there's the cross-check, and it's quite plain to see. Ray Bork, in the meantime, had a pretty good shot from the point position. While on the power play, the early stages, Anson Carter in front of the net has a chance with a man all over him with a little redirection. And from this view, you're going to watch the right leg of the goaltender, Irbe. Right leg, bang. Hits the right leg and squeaks back out the left side. I thought at first that he got his left hand on it, but that's not the case. So it wasn't a reaction. It was actually good positioning by Irbe to be outside his crease. And because he was outside his crease, that puck snuck through him and wide. If he was deep, it would have snuck through him and gone in the net.
Shots are even at 3. Players are even at 4. 4 aside for the next 25 seconds. And then Carolina will go on their second power play of the night. Allison for cross-checking at 13:53 is the official call. Hurricanes look to come out with Jeff O'Neill again. This is still 4-on-4. Here's O'Neill now. Little drop pass picked off by Axelson. And Boston looks to break back the other way. Lets it fly off the stick of Chason and all the way upstairs into this sellout crowd here in Greensboro.
That was flying way up there. You know, you were mentioning and comparing this to the old Chicago Stadium. Our vantage point is as good as that. This is wonderful for broadcasters all over how close we are. As Axelson takes it, and he lets her rip right here, goes right off the blade of Chason. Goalies don't mind this one. you know, when he's far enough out, you know you've got the angle of the stick there, so if it's going to hit it, it's going to go up 40 rows, or it's going to hit the heel of his stick and go to the corner. It's when you're right in front of the goaltender and the defenseman all of a sudden gives the old flamingo and then fires the stick out there.
You love that,
Oh, no. That's not a good thing.
And one other similarity to Chicago Stadium, how about the steps to get to the locker room?
Right. They're smaller, but you're right.
Small
they are
steps.
Yeah. 23 of them to get up to from the locker room to the old Chicago Stadium ice surface.
Tell the truth. Did you ever tumble?
No, never
Not
tumbled.
even one time.
No. Got carried down once when I was hurt. They had to carry me. Took one person.
The old great barn in Chicago. Primo couldn't handle. Back the other way. This now is a Carolina power play for 1 minute and 10 seconds. Allison in the box, his second minor of the night. Boston does not want him here. He is their leading scorer. Chason shoots it in deeper for Primo. Kapanen creeping in. Try to find Shepard. Here's Chason now. Thought about the shot, makes the pass. Shepard off along the half boards now. Cuts in. Looking to work the give and go. Primo trying to give it back and whacked out by Jelena. Stopped by Defoe. And Gill pushed it to the corner. Tipped by Carter and all the way down.
What a read by Carter. Great read. Waited and really, he poached a little bit there at the end. Got the blade of it on the puck when Shepard could have had the cross ice pass to the open Kapanen.
30 seconds now left. We mentioned the first 10 minutes of that last game in game number 1. One member of the Boston organization said Carolina was outplaying them totally until the Hurricanes got their first power play. And then they became unglued and things settled down for them. So it's really been a disadvantage for the Canes to have the man advantage. And I guess we're seeing more of that here tonight. Coming up on 5 seconds left in that power play.
Well, Barry Melrose knows a lot about coaching and a lot about hockey, and he was talking the other night about just how bad their power play has been, and those special teams can absolutely kill you. Takes away a lot of momentum.
Offside at the blue line. Headman pass for Jason Allison out of the box. Canes power play already 0 for 2.
Today, Labatt announced the expansion of Labatt Blue to the U.S. market.
Oh?
I love Canada. It's my home. But come on, it's an entire country north of Buffalo. This coat is not that warm, eh?
Oh, that's lovely. If I can get the best part of Canada and live in the States, you tell me, huh?
Checkmate.
Labatt Blue, pure Canada.
Did not see that coming.
To see a bit of what makes Dodge Intrepid fast, let's cut to the quick. It has a sparkling 200 horsepower gem of an aluminum engine, grippy independent suspension, crisp steering, and a highly functional driving space. Intrepid demonstrates a lot of powerful thinking, no matter how you slice it. Intrepid is one of Car and Driver's 10 best. Again.
Keith Primo, the captain of the Hurricanes, affectionately called the K-Train. He's been rumbling down the tracks tonight.
Well, game 1, he had 10 hits. He started off the same way here in game 2. Huge hit so far. O'Neill has also been very involved. Ray Bourque got one back right there. And Keith Primo, though, it takes a lot of energy for that big frame to go around hitting guys. What they need right now is guys going to the net and keeping the puck on net and causing a little bit of havoc there. But they try to generate their offense by turnovers, by banging people, by making sure the opposition is they're on their heels a little bit. So far early on, that's an awful lot of hits early on, boy, an awful lot of hits.
Primo missed the final 3 games of the season with lower back strain. Just resting him up and short for the playoffs. That frame you mentioned, he's 6'5", 220. Man's a load.
Well, and he's got the potential to be about 240, I bet.
Here's Kovalenko breaking in. The tackle stole it from Elliott and then was cleaned up in a big way by Van Imp, who came over to pick up the slack for his defensive partner. Here's Kovalenko. Van Imp trying to work him over again. Hines into back check behind the Boston net. Battaglia through a screen, works it with the puck. Cron puts it off his own play, and Carter trying to break. And Carter will shoot in. Hervé there to stick it aside. Cron belted by Carter as he got at the center inside the Boston zone. McLaren off for Sweeney. Sweeney met by Mandeville and shoots in. Lecision back to the game. Under 3 to go. Steve Levy, Darren Pang, and our National Hockey Night crew coming in from Greensboro, North Carolina. Kevin Dineen, the big backhander. And Defoe got just enough of the glove on it. Here's Dineen from the other side trying it. With all sorts of traffic and havoc in front of Defoe in that Boston crease.
Yeah, Manderville going after the much smaller defenseman, Don Sweeney, who has really been a pillar of strength on the blue line for this Boston Bruins.
Headman pass up the middle, bit too far, couldn't connect with Vranheim, and because of that, they'll call it icing with 2:27 left in this scoreless first. ESPN2 has a Stanley Cup playoff doubleheader tomorrow for you. At 6:30 p.m. Eastern, the Senators and Sabres shift to Buffalo. Buffalo going home with a 2-0 lead. Then at 9:30, it's Game 3. This one from Edmonton. The Oilers find themselves down 2-0 to the Dallas Stars. ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com.
Looking forward to those tilts. It's been great watching game after game. Enjoyed watching Eddie Olczyk and Dave Ryan this afternoon from Phoenix in a thrilling hockey game there. Big battle here. Manderville, Sweeney. Now they're going to go in front of the net. Manderville's trying to position himself, gain some territory there, and the puck never does get to him. Takes a lot of energy for those guys in front of the net, too. They're taking hacks and whacks and cross-checks, and the fans trying to get the Canes, getting them going here.
Roberts able to clear. A bit too high for Sammy Kapanen. Right back for Hal Gill. O'Neill finished his check. Decision back for Chason. Stops it momentarily. Samsonov chasing without a stick. And that allows Kapanen to come out rather unmolested. Here's Defoe now. Shoots it around. Try to reverse to O'Neill. Here's Roberts. He's got a lane. Back behind the net, Kapanen. Canes are set up pretty well. They get it through to O'Neill. And a glove stop by Defoe. Again, didn't get the kind of lumber he would have liked on that shot. He was picking the short side.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. It looked like it fluttered a little bit, and that's why it was pushed wide.
Here's Gill now. Flips in. Chase on the baseball swing. A swing and a miss.
Yeah.
Out ahead at center. Inside the Boston zone. Fired right back out. This one will go for icing as Boston's going for a change. Nolan Pratt on the touch with 1:26 to go here in a scoreless first. Some other scores from around the NHL. We've got that doubleheader for you tomorrow on the Deuce. How about a triple header today, including this game going on as we speak on the Deuce. The Flyers that 1-0 lead on the spectacular Keith Jones goal. John Saunders brought you up to date earlier. We'll send you back to John and Barry in just a little bit. One of the big upsets of the day, Panger. How about the hotel having the Deuce?
Oh,
how great is that for the triple header?
That's good stuff right there. While you were skating here, letting the wheels out right here at the Coliseum. Here's the play behind the net where O'Neill takes. He's a right-hand shot. So although his body was over to the left, Kapanen realizes that his stick is on the farther angle. And so tough for the defenseman to defend because he doesn't want to fully commit over to that one side and leave it the open area in the slot. O'Neill, that was a headsy play to get himself open. Just couldn't get the shot full.
Coffey, nice play to glove it down and keep inside the zone. Centering feed right through the crease. Must have been 4 players in that tiny crease with Byron Defoe. Cork will reverse. Up for P.J. Axelson. Minute 10 to go. Giveaway. Here's Pratt. Trying to pick the corner. Shot it over the net. Nolan Pratt, the defenseman, with an opportunity. Kane starting to take it to the Bruins here. Here's Shepard trying to give it back to Jelena. Tim Taylor will shoot it. Battle for it. Icing is waved off. Good hustle play by Boston. DeMaio couldn't get to it. Jelena does. Out ahead for Gill. Here's Shepard. Picks his pocket. Lee Shepard trying to break in. Shot on. Save. Rebound. Save. Still lose. Save. Defoe. 3 dandies by Byron Defoe, and a penalty coming up against Boston.
That puck is bouncing all over. Last minute of the period, it wouldn't settle down. And Defoe did the wisest thing, just lay down. Good cross-ice pass, or I should say a missed cross-ice pass because Hal Gill was right there. But Ray Shepard slowly slid in behind, and with that long stick he used, he was able to get a backhander there. Stopped by Defoe. The second one never got through. This one does get through, and Byron Defoe now is just lying right down. Trying to fend off the right side of his body, trying to protect it. And that was the minor penalty anyway on Hal Gill. And the remaining shot, Byron Defoe in his crouch, covering the low part. Now he's just going to get himself positioned where, oh, nice stuff with the skates right there. Lies down and easily covers up the last attempt. Power play now, Canes again.
The call is hooking to Hal Gill at 19:23. Third power play of the night. Shot was blocked in front by Raymond Bourque. He was playing the man and the puck perfectly. Again, that Canes power play is 0 for 2, and they didn't manage a single shot. In fairness, there's only really a power play and a half. Roberts shot! That one's right on goal. The save as players come together. Defoe active at the top of his crease.
That's good transition right there by Carolina. That is great stuff right there. You get Roberts coming with plenty of speed. That means the Boston Bruins are going to have to back in. They can't be standing still at the blue line in an odd man situation. Roberts comes down the right side of the ice. He's a left-hand shot. He had a golden opportunity in game 1. The same type of situation. He cuts by McLaren, gets the shot, tries to go through the legs of Byron Defoe, and it's the cut that makes the play. Now he gets himself in a pretty good scoring position right there, and Defoe takes it right on the crest.
19 seconds from now, we'll send you back to John and Barry, the new Dodge Intermission Report, all the NHL action. How about the Penguins? Not only winning, the amount of goals they scored, and without Jaromir Jagr. That's all coming up on the new Dodge Intermission Report. Deflection goes wide on the net. Might have gone off a skate. That one right on. Defoe the save. 7 seconds left in the period now. Chase on for Kovalenko. Centering feed, and that will do it. I'll tell you what, the last 30 seconds, that did not look like the worst power play in the NHL. The Hurricanes look to take some momentum into the dressing room and bring it back out for the second. We're scoreless after 1. Time now for the new Dodge Intermission Report. Back to John and Barry.
All right, Steve and Darren, thanks a lot. And if you're the Carolina Hurricanes, you're saying, okay, we played with some intensity, some emotion, but now 4 periods, they haven't scored.
Today is the day it looks like teams are going to respond to missing key players. We saw Pittsburgh do without Jagr. We saw in the second game, we saw Phoenix do without Roenick. And in the first game, the Carolina Hurricane had tons of passion. They played hard, didn't get anything for it, but they must be willing to do that for 2 more periods because it looks like Defoe's on his game.
The power play when they return with the second period. But first,
that's bad news.
New Dodge Intermission Report for them. It is. Their power play has been anemic. What a game this afternoon between the Blues and the Coyotes. That and more when we return.
How to speak Australian. Guppy. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
Glidden and Home Depot together, it's an unbeatable combination.
We are a paint store in Home Depot.
Glidden's been around 120 years, and they know paint.
It's unbeatable.
So I can always honestly recommend that you use Glidden paint.
It applies easily, doesn't splatter because it's a nice thick paint.
You just get a brush and roller and go at it. It covers really well. It's a quality paint. Good durability, good price.
Glidden has it all. You don't stay in business for 120 years if you don't have good exterior paint.
We're here at Saskatoon's #1 cyber hockey cafe with hockey legends Gordie Howe, Stan Mikita, and internet guru Esther Dyson. We're talking hockey and technology.
Technology changes everything, even hockey.
Well, the NHL now has a website with instant scores and stats and streaming video.
I have a website. Gordie, you have a website? Doesn't everybody have a website?
We're here with grades 3, 4, and 5 to help you remember 10-10, 3-4-5 long distance, where calls are always 10 cents a minute. So what's that number?
10-10-3-4-5.
Excellent.
Dial 10-10-345 today.
Need new shocks? Come to Midas. We'll save you 50% on your second R2 Technology shocker strut with a lifetime guarantee. Go safely. Go Midas.
How to speak Australian.
Thanks, mate.
Room service. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
Tonight's first intermission report is presented by the new Dodge, the official vehicles of the NHL.
And welcome to the new Dodge Intermission Report. John Saunders and Barry Melrose. We are scoreless after 1 period of play. Carolina has not had a goal in this series yet against Boston. But how about the Toronto Maple Leafs against the Philadelphia Flyers? The Leafs, the #1 scoring team in the National Hockey League. Top offensive team, but still without a goal against Philadelphia. Here now in Game 2. Kingwood dumps it in. Berezin then gets the rebound, but again, Van Beesbrook is there to poke it away. Still in the first period, Recchi with a turnaround. Craig Berube then with the rebound. He's on the doorstep, and he comes up with the save.
Well, Roger Nielsen knows Chief Berube don't miss many of those. Right here, Jonesy gets it. Good, quick shot. Goes to the middle, throws it upstairs. He looks like Eric Lindros on that play. Western Michigan grad, isn't he, John?
Absolutely. You can tell by his hands. 1-0. The Flyers with the lead. Are the Leafs starting to think about, wait a second, we get the Flyers, they don't have Lindros, and we can't score?
It's the other way around. Cujo's supposed to be doing this to the Flyers, John, instead of Van Beesbrook doing it to the Leafs. And after a while, that does weigh on your mind. You're exactly right.
Lindros not available for the Flyers. Well, how about this one? The New Jersey Devils against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And the Devils probably took things a little bit too early because Jágr was not playing. There's Morozov getting the goal, his first playoff goal. Kip Miller then with a pass. Anderson streaks in and gets the goal. 2-0. The Penguins have the lead. Later on, more.
German Titov out to Marty Straka. Marty Straka was great today, taking over from Jaromir Jágr. He was the leader offensively. Great play there. Hatcher throws net. And look at this deflection. Alexei Kovalov didn't play in Game 1. He was huge in Game 2.
And important as well because, as we mentioned, Jágr did not play in this game. The Penguins have tied this series up at 1 apiece, and they go back to Pittsburgh. Now, Barry, as a coach, do you like the fact that their best player's not there, or would you rather have their full lineup and you know you're going to get your team's effort?
Well, obviously, you wouldn't mind Jágr not playing, but I'll tell you what happened. All week long, you're preparing for Pittsburgh. All you do is talk about Jágr. We got to stop Jágr. We got to stop Jágr. We got to stop Jágr. All of a sudden, before the game, it's reported in your dressing room that Jágr's not playing. All of a sudden, you just see the guys rubbing their hands together. Jágr's not playing. Jágr's not playing. We can win without working. New Jersey went out there, tried to win without working. Pittsburgh worked their butts off. Everybody played better than they ever had before. Straka, Titov, Kovalev. They played like hell today, and they deserve to win. They outworked New Jersey all period long, all game long.
On the other side of the coin, in the other locker room, they're now saying, hey, we won without our best player. We can take this series.
And you know what's good, too, is all of a sudden Jágr realizes this team, I'm not the whole cat's meow here. I got to deserve to play. These guys won without me. So that's good for Jágr to see that, too, that this team can win without him. So he's a little humbler and ready to work a little harder, and all these guys feel a little bit better about themselves.
Day-to-day right now with that groin injury. He might be available, though, for game number 3 in Pittsburgh. The New Dodge Intermission Report continues. When we come back, we'll take a look at the Blues and the Coyotes. Right now, we're in a scoreless tie in Carolina between the Bruins and the Canes.
To showcase its spacious interior, we made Dodge Intrepid transparent. To demonstrate its 200 horsepower aluminum V6, we sliced Intrepid. To reveal its sturdy chassis, we took Intrepid apart. Now we have one more trick we'd like to show you. Well equipped, just $20,495. Intrepid is one of Car and Driver's 10 best. Again.
The durable, authentic khaki. It gets better with every wash.
When you start a pro hockey team in North Carolina, there are several things you'll find useful. Some more useful than others. Nothing else matters unless you have what you need most. That's why 4 out of 5 of the world's largest companies rely on CompuWare. What do you need most? CompuWare, people and software for business applications.
I wear a shirt underneath my jersey every game. It says 259 TPN. It's my old address at college. My best friends live there, and it's respect to them because they come to every game. I'm Mike Pecky. Have you seen me?
See him tomorrow, 1 p.m. on ESPN.
We continue with the New Dodge Intermission Report. Another game this afternoon was a great one in Phoenix. St. Louis with a 1-0 lead in the series. And Phoenix looking to pull even before having to head to St. Louis for a quick turnaround. Al MacInnis, what a series he has been having. A couple of chances, finally comes back to him, and MacInnis just goes at about 100 miles an hour. 1-0 with that goal. Then Teppo Numminen will beat Grant Fuhr. The slapper comes through, it gets bounced around a little bit. And then later in the third, though, Keith Carney will rip one from the point. Coyotes take a 3-2 lead, but minutes later, it's that guy MacInnis again.
St. Louis power play, Young to MacInnis. Everyone thinks he's going to shoot back door to Dimitri right there. Conn Smythe is given out today. MacInnis gets it, John.
Yeah, he's been in on every St. Louis goal. And this in the overtime. Shane Doan gets the goal. Grant Fuhr simply lost sight of the puck here.
Phoenix dominated in overtime. It was like St. Louis was trying to not lose. Phoenix was playing to win. They owned all the physical battles. They played hard. Phoenix was great today, John. They deserved this win.
Well, they looked tremendous in the overtime. They got stronger as the game went on. So the series is tied at 1 apiece, and Barry goes back to St. Louis. They have to play tomorrow afternoon. So the quick turnaround, who gets the benefit?
Favors the team that wins because they got all the momentum, they got all the fire right now. St. Louis has to recover, and it'd be nice to have a day off to recover, but they got to play tomorrow afternoon.
They both had to travel back to St. Louis. They'll play tomorrow afternoon. All right, stick around. More of the New Dodge Intermission Report. We are scoreless after 1.
How long does it take to turn Dodge Durango from the sport utility with the most passenger room in its class into the one with the most cargo room? Not long enough. Durango, new ground for the new Dodge.
Stone Cold Steve Austin for 1-800-COLLECT.
I'm not talking to you. What did I do? You're so insensitive. Dial 0 when you called me last night. Should have dialed 1-800-COLLECT. Would have saved me a bundle. How do you think it makes me feel?
Next time I use 1-800-COLLECT. I didn't mean to hurt you.
Me neither. Dial 1-800-COLLECT or else.
Never before has there been a cruiser as comfortable as the Suzuki Intruder 1500 LC. A bike so smooth, so impressive, you'll want the end of the ride to be just the beginning.
Today's Sports Century Classic Moment is brought to you by Bud Light.
The 76ers win their first NBA title, beating San Francisco 125-122. Wilt Chamberlain is a defensive giant, grabbing 23 rebounds and blocking 6 shots.
The one thing we didn't need Wilt to do was score a lot of points. We needed him to rebound, block shots, be a dominant force. This is the year Wilt probably had the most fulfilling season he's ever had as a basketball player.
April 24th, 1967.
What you doing, Frank?
Waiting for him to talk.
It's just a game. Frank.
Some nights I'm in here, and I swear, I can hear him talking.
We all have our demons, Frank.
Shh, quiet, you're gonna get us caught.
Charlie?
Yeah?
You hear something?
No.
Now?
No.
Listen to the prophets. They predicted it all. Max attack on the home run record. Roger Clemens, 5th Cy Young Award.
Immerse yourself in the last season of the century. Watch Baseball Tonight on ESPN.
Speak to me, O prophets. Speak to me.
The New Dodge Intermission Report continues, and a reminder coming up later tonight on ESPN2. It's Game 1 of the Avalanche Sharks series. This one starting late in deference to the tragedy in Colorado. These guys have been waiting around for a few days.
If I'm Bob Hartley, I don't want my team to watch Detroit after that first period shellacking they gave the Ducks last game.
All right, Avalanche and the Sharks, 10:30 tonight on ESPN2. Our second period is coming up between the Bruins and the Canes.
While you were watching interest rates fall, Countrywide Home Loans was working on ways to help lower your monthly payments. While you waited, we figured out ways to help cut years off your loan.
We have circuits that will now...
And while you were realizing there's never been a better time to refinance your home,
has WAN connected.
we were coming up with ways you could do it with no out-of-pocket costs. Now, we're ready.
Hello, thank you for calling Countrywide Home Loans. This is Maria. How may I help you?
The rest
Maria, hi, this is David. Yeah, we just talked.
is up to you. Don't wait any longer.
Give me just one moment and I'll pull up your file. Okay, great. Here it is. Yes.
Call 800-EASY-877 now or go to countrywide.com. We never stop thinking about what you need, and that makes refinancing at a great rate easy. Really.
That was so close. No.
The biggest websites, from Amazon.com to Yahoo. And the biggest companies, from British Airways to General Motors, use Oracle for e-business. Do you? The internet is revolutionizing business. From Egghead.com to eBay. From E-Trade to Excite. The companies that know the internet best use Oracle for e-business. Do you?
Make someone happy.
This Mother's Day, give Mom
Make
diamonds
just
from
one
K
someone
Jewelers.
happy.
She'll love a beautiful
Make
diamond
just
bracelet,
one heart
like our
a
quarter
heart.
carat classic from $99.95. With diamonds from K Jewelers, you will make Mom very happy.
Stuck with a flat tire? Not with this tire. Even with no air pressure, you drive to safety. Aqua Steel Run Flat. Don't get stuck. Get there.